Fancy some full throttle fireworks on the 4th of July? This is AquaX. Hello and welcome to Lido Beach in Sarasota, Florida for the third round of the AquaX Championship. This weekend on Independence Day, over 40 of the country's top jet ski racers will be putting on a show in front of thousands of fans as part of the Sarasota Grand Prix, an event which features an awesome array of marine motorsport.
Well, Sarasota is run by Suncoast Charities for Children, our festival and our race site. We are, I think, the only one in the world that's run by a charity. AquaX is fantastic. I saw it for the first time overseas, and I was totally taken by it the first time I saw it. And then we had some further conversations about bringing it here to Sarasota. The feedback's been great.
Last season, the championship was all about a handful of usual suspects dueling out at the top of the table. But this year, well, there's a whole lot more competition across all three classes. So here's a rundown of the current point standings and a heads up on some of those riders that are moving up fast. The dominant Aswar brothers are sitting at the top of the table, with younger brother Axel just getting the better of aero. 2014 champion Eric Francis sits in third. But the challenge at the moment in the 300 class is coming from the next three riders on the table: Blaine Spooner, Mike Klippenstein and Jason Russo.
Yeah, we're really fighting for that third spot. The Aswar brothers, super fast. They're all on the same equipment, Yamaha, and then Sidhu's got the Spooner out there, and he's doing really good. We're tied in fourth right now in points, so really looking forward to today's race.
The competition from last year has definitely stepped up dramatically.
But you've been racing jet skis for a long while, so you know what this is all about.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's nothing new to me. It's you know, obviously with AquaX, it's a little different game versus the closed course. It's more endurance, and you know, just not making any mistakes. And you know, one mistake can be costly over a weekend.
Starting to get a little bit tired after Jacksonville had a little bit of an accident, but got a few pieces back together on it, and it's running strong, so hope for the best and hopefully to finish through the weekend strong. It's been a tight battle. You know, it's round 3 this weekend, and between Jason and Mike Klippenstein. It looks like Eric's having a little bit of trouble, but yeah, the brothers, they've been doing pretty good.
Last season, the 250 class was all about Eric Lagopoulos, who seemed to have his race boots nailed to the top step of the podium. This year, the story's not the same, as he currently sits in third, behind David Gorey and Paloma Noceda, with Anya Colley just behind in fourth.
The competition is real big in the 250 class this year, and it's, you know, top 7, top 8. It's not top 2 or top 3.
Good to see as well Paloma Noceda from Peru. She's pushing for the top spot as well.
She is, yeah. I've heard, you know, she rides the World Championship and she's done really well in that. I believe she is World Champion. So it's amazing that she's come over and showing the boys how it's done. I love it.
And this weekend, Anya, you're not on your own.
Yeah, my best friend Amy has come over all the way from England with me, and she's loving it.
So Paloma, you're currently second in the championship at the moment. Tell us about your season so far.
Well, at the beginning I came to see how I could do, but from the first race that I finished second, I could saw that maybe I can be on top on this championship. So I'm doing this to get prepared for the World Finals that will be in October. So this is going to be a very good training for me, and I'm very happy to be part of it.
The 200 class is a Yamaha lockout, with the VXR proving to be the best machine for the job and favoured by most in the class. With Kelly Bilbao in third spot on 79 points, the battle for the top is between last year's champion Rob Greenwald on 105 and Travis Ziolasco ahead on 117.
Yeah, no, it's good. The whole class is a tough class, and they all hold a good pace. And with Greenwald out there, it's a lot of fun. We're on the same team, so we have a lot of fun out there.
So obviously this is your first season in Aquacross, but you're no stranger to jet ski racing. You've come here though to win the championship, presumably.
That's why I'm here. I want to come out and try to win every moto I can win.
So as the popularity of Aquacross grows, so does the standard of competition, which is something Championship Director Amy Green knows well.
As more and more riders enter Aquacross, the skill of all the riders increases. There's nothing better for a rider than to have more riders to race with. The riders here are coming very well trained with very well skilled crews, and they're really taking it serious out on the track.
So let's take a look at the course that the riders will be taking on 3 times this weekend here on Lido Beach.
The race course is just over 2 miles in length, counterclockwise rotation with left and right hand turns, but this is about endurance. They race 30 minutes plus 1 lap for each heat.
So that's the course, and right now the riders are getting a closer look at it for themselves as they're on their initiation laps. So let's head out to the start line with your race commentator, Martin Sanborn.
Well, we have a beautiful lineup here in Sarasota as the 300 skis are waiting for the go-ahead. As we go on board with Scott Dolly. Water conditions not too bad for this first moto. Everybody's watching the marshals, waiting for the green flag go-ahead. And we have a green flag. There they go, off and running. And we are on board with Barillia as he is right in the middle of the pack, trying to move his way up as they all make their way towards turn 1. Back on board Barillia, as he's got some competition coming hard from the outside. He gets squeezed off, as that looked like Jason Russo giving him a little bit of a squeeze as we go back to our start in the 200 and the 250 classes. That's the aft-facing view from Eric Lagopoulos. You can see it is a little bumpier than it looks as they make their way towards turn 1. Back to our battle for the lead in the 300 class. That's Barilla. He's in second place, but he's got competition coming up alongside. Jason Russo is out front. As there you see the gap between Russo and Barilla on the outside straight. Barilla has the inside lane, but he's getting squeezed a little bit on the outside. He now drops back to third, getting challenged to get put back to 4th position as we go back on board with number 714 Barilla. As you see, he is now dropped back to 4th position. And now we're on board with number 74, Scott Dolly, on his 300 Kawasaki. Dolly has now moved into 3rd place, but out front is Russo. As we go back on board Barilla, you can see how the water is getting worse and worse the farther he gets back behind the leaders. And Russo now gets himself past Spooner. He moves into 2nd place, but Spooner's on the inside lane. As we go back on board with Scott Dolly, currently running in 2nd place. As we look at Blaine Spooner, he's now moved to the inside. He has now gotten past Scott Dolly. He is now running in 2nd place. He is now trying to charge down on the leader, and it looks like he on the inside lane has now moved into the lead. So in the 300 class, we have Spooner out front, followed by Dolly in 2nd place, and then Jason Russo in 3rd. Spooner's got that good inside lane. He has clean water. But coming up hard behind him is the number 74 of Scott Dolly. And on the way outside is Jason Russo. And number 74 is challenging. Scott Dolly's coming up hard on Blaine Spooner. Can Spooner hold him off? Spooner has the inside lane. Dolly's coming up hard on the outside. Spooner's going to have the inside as they get to that right-hand turn. Let's see what Dolly does. Spooner comes in nice. He picks up a little bit of ground. Coming up hard on the outside is Dolly as the rest of the fleet makes their way around. But it looks like Dolly was able to carry some more speed as he makes his way now into the lead ahead of Spooner. So Scott Dolly's out front. Blaine Spooner's in 2nd place, and now we have a battle going on for 3rd. As we look at Blaine Spooner, he's on a Sea-Doo RXPX. In the 300 class, currently running in 2nd place as he looks over his shoulder. And we go back on board with the number 74 of Scott Dolly. He is now in the lead. He's got that clean water out front. You can tell by his arm position, he's plenty strong out there, got all kinds of endurance still to go. A 30-minute moto plus 1 lap here in Sarasota. This is the first heat of the Sarasota Grand Prix. As Scott Dolly makes his way around turn 1. And we go on board Eric Lagopoulos, currently running 2nd place in the 250 class. This shot from the handlebars, you can see just how hard Eric Lagopoulos has to work to control that ski. And there, looking back, you can see just how bumpy it really is. Eric Lagopoulos currently running in 2nd place in the 250 class. And here is our leader in the 250 class, the number 502 of Brian Baldwin. He's running a Yamaha 250 FCR SHO. He is out front in the 250 class. On board with number 57, this is Rob Greenwald on his Yamaha 200 VXR. And here is our leader in the 200 class, the number 999 of Travis Velasco on his Yamaha VXR. He is a rookie this year in the AquaX series. And this is the view looking to the north end of the race course as the skis have spread out over this moto. As we go on board the number 74 of Scott Dolly, and he's come off plane. Scott Dolly has stopped. The leader is out. And now we have a new leader in the 300 class. Aero Aswar on his Yamaha 300 FCR SVHO has now moved into the lead, getting past Spooner and the number 74 of Scott Dolly. But also working their way through the pack is the number 117 of Oxa Aswar. He is now challenging his brother. He has moved into 2nd position in the 300 class. Aero on the inside, Oxa on the outside as they make their way towards the right-hand turn. Oh, very close on the number 660 of Boswell as he comes across the back end of Oxa Aswar. Battling it out on their Yamahas as the number 117 of Oxa Aswar now challenging Aero on the outside. They are side by side as they head to the west here off of Lido Beach, and he now moves into the lead. Number 117 Oxa Aswar is now just ahead of Aero as we look at our new leader in the 300 class. Currently running in 2nd place is Eric Lagopoulos in the 250 class. Eric is riding a Sea-Doo GTR, the defending champion in the P1 AquaX series. But here is our current leader in the 250 series. This is Brian Baldwin. And our leader in the 200 class, Velasco, getting passed by the number 119 of Aero Aswar in the 300 class. As here you get a nice view of the race course from a distance. The checkered flag is out, and it is going to be the number 117 of Oxa Aswar taking the win in the 300s, followed by his brother Aero in 2nd, Mike Klippenstein in 3rd, and Eric Francis in 4th. In the 200 class, it's Velasco with the win, followed by Greenwald and Saxton. And in the 250s is Baldwin, Lagopoulos, and Noceda.
It was a really tough race. I started late on the start, and I got 10th. For a couple of laps, it was smooth, and then it started to drop. And on the last 2 laps, I caught my brother, who was in 1st place, and I stayed 1st till the finish line.
Went out there, rode hard, and Greenwald was right on my tail the whole time, so it was a good race.
So with the first one of the weekend all finished up, it's a Yamaha lockout at the top, with Aswar, Baldwin and Velasco taking the top spots across all 3 classes. Join us after the break when we come back from day 2 here in Sarasota. Welcome back to Sarasota for day 2 on the 3rd weekend of the 2015 AquaX Championship, where yesterday, on Independence Day, there certainly were fireworks. So it was Axa Aswar, Brian Baldwin and Travis Zalesco who each won their classes yesterday. Let's find out what happens to them and the rest of the fleet with 2 more races today.
And the skis are lined up for the start of heat number 2, and we have a green flag. They are underway. Huge crowds on Lido Beach watching Eric Lagopoulos out front in the 250 class, but Eric is slowing down. The fleet is coming to a stop here right after the start, and this is why. That is a manatee, very common here in South Florida, and that puts the race on hold as we wait for the manatee to leave the race course as it's being protected by a police boat here off the waters in Sarasota. But there's plenty of other activities. We have a flyboard out there on the water as she's pulling off the flips, but the boats got back underway. But once we got restarted, it was the number 212 of Klippenstein ahead of Ian Tosca, Blaine Spooner, and Eric Francis. And Axa Aswar got a bad start. He's back in the pack and has a lot of work to do to get himself caught back up. And here is our leader, Klippenstein, followed by Ian Tosca, Blaine Spooner, and the number 117 of Axa Aswar. He's got a lot of work to do to get himself back up to the front. But as the checkered flag flew for the second heat, it was Mike Klippenstein taking the win in the 300 class. The number 502 of Brian Baldwin in the 250 class, and the number 999 of Travis Zalesco taking the win in the 200s. So in the 300 class, it's Klippenstein on top, followed by Ian Tosca and Spooner. In the 200 classes, Zalesco, Greenwald, and Saxton, and in 250s, Baldwin, Nocita, and Gonzalez.
So business as usual there in the 200 class and the 250 class, with Travis Zalesco and Brian Baldwin taking the win. But after the confusion of that restart there in the 300s, it was all changed. Mike Klippenstein making it first past the checkered flag. Let's see what happens then with all of them as we head out to the final one of the weekend.
Another beautiful lineup here as the 300s get the green flag, and they are underway. Klippenstein gets a good jump at the start in the 300 class, picking up where he left off in the last heat, but coming up hard on the outside. He has some competition. And here's the start of our 200 and 250 classes. They get the green flag. All of the skis running to the south here in Sarasota. Both classes all mixed up. There you see the spread between the 300 class and the 200s and the 250s. As the number 212 of Mike Klippenstein is out front, followed by the number 117 of Axa Aswar. As we go on board second place in the 250 class, that's Eric Lagopoulos. As we move back to our leaders in the 300 class, out front, that's the number 212 of Klippenstein, followed by the number 117 of Axa Aswar. And running in third place is the number 119 of Aero Aswar, as you see the aft-facing view off of his ski. But now it's the number 117 of Axa Aswar. He moves out into the lead. Axa on the inside, Klippenstein on the outside, but Klippenstein's not giving up. He's trying to make a move as he comes up to the inside on that right-hand turn on the course to set himself up. Klippenstein and Aswar battling it out. And he now moves back into the lead. Klippenstein jumps back out front as we go back to our second place boat in the 250s, Eric Lagopoulos. Back to our battle in the 300s. Out front is Klippenstein, followed by Axa Aswar and Aero Aswar in third as they make their way around the south end of the race course. The Aswar brothers proving tough to beat again here in Sarasota. The number 117 is in second place. This is Axa Aswar. As we look at our leader, the number 212 of Mike Klippenstein. He's out front. He's got clean water as we go on board the number 119 of Aero Aswar with an aft-facing view. He is currently running in 3rd position. But here comes the number 117 of AquaX. He now moves into the lead ahead of Klippenstein. AquaX now out front in the 300 class. As we take a look at our 250 class leader, this is the number 502. That is Brian Baldwin on his 250 Yamaha FZR SHO. And we go back on board with Rob Greenwald, currently running in 2nd place in the 200 class. But the leader in the 200 class continues to be Travis Velasco. And coming in for the checkered flag, the number 117 of AquaX. He is going to take the win in the final heat. So AXA takes the win, followed by Arrow, and then Eric Francis in 3rd. In the 200 classes, Velasco, Greenwald, and Saxon. In the 250s, it's Baldwin, Lagopoulos, and Gorey.
It was really big waves out there. The chop is incredible. And my Yamaha it's flying on the chop, and I felt great winning again, and I will see you next round.
It was definitely a lot of hard work this weekend. The conditions were pretty brutal, and you know, the competition was fierce. And you know, I just put my head down and and had some fun and won some races.
Good racing with your teammate Rob Greenwald.
Oh yeah, it was great racing with him. He got out there, he took a couple hard beatings on the waves. It got a lot more rough on this moto. But all in all, it was a good weekend.
Let's take a look at the results for the overall weekend. It's Travis Velasco, followed by Greenwald and Saxon in the 200 class. In the 250s, it's Baldwin, Lagopoulos, and Nocita. In 300s, it's AquaX, Arrow Aswar, and Mike Klippenstein.
So there you go, the Aquacross weekend comes to a close. Dominant performances from the riders across all 3 classes, and what a show these boys put on as part of the Sarasota Grand Prix in front of thousands of fans. Join us next time when all the action will be coming from St. Cloud. But for now, from all of us here, see ya.